Hey everybody, I'm here for my full deck challenge number 35. This is 35 we're on. Let me get my card from last week. Last week was this owl and the thing was happy scraps. So I'm going to carry over a couple of things. I'm going to use a couple of happy scraps from last week. I'm going to put this one at the bottom here, I think, as an accent. And then I also stamped one of my label stamps. I think it counts as a label. I mean, it's a little bit different, but because my constant every week is labels, but I wanted to use some of this paper to do my label. And then I'm also bringing over an owl. This is from the Collage Soup Bird Nerd book. It's one of the ones I have. Sorry, I'm trying to make these white spots not so white. And he's going to be on here. And so I kind of struggled with this one this week because the prompt was ABCs. And I don't know. So I'm just going to be putting a bunch of letters in the background and hope that it all works out. How about that? I mean, it's nice. They're going to be slightly textured gold numbers in the back, so I think they'll make a nice background for my owl. I don't know. This is my first chance to craft in a couple of days, so I'm feeling, I think not since Monday, and it's Thursday now, I haven't crafted because, oh no, Tuesday. I guess I did Tuesday. Well, I did my Marguerite Miller, but I haven't done anything else fun. So I don't know if you can see, I'm going to be using these gold letters, but they're slightly textured, little bumps. I just thought a little bit of sparkle behind the bird in the background, and it's just going to be sort of random letters. I liked what Chinooki did, but I always hate copying exactly what somebody does, so I still wanted to put some textured letters for my background. And you know, put them different ways like she did, and I don't know. Sorry, I paused for a moment there because my daughter just texted me. It's been quite a day for her. A few months ago, one of her coworkers, who's, I don't know, a few years older than me, she took a leave of absence because she was having some health issues. And I guess it was a lot more serious than, because, you know, obviously nobody talked about it at work because of HIPAA policies and stuff. But she passed away last night. And she had to have surgery on her heart, I guess. And then there were complications and she passed away, and she wasn't much older than me. And so, I don't know, I think it's been a day for my daughter. Because she trained her and such, and because my daughter's been working there for 5 years. And I think She wasn't I mean, you know, it wasn't like she was young, but she also wasn't old. So, in the general gist of being old, I guess. Because she was younger than me. And, anyway, she was texting me to let me know that, because she went for a hike after work. She works in a very beautiful part of California. Well, I live in a beautiful part of California. How's that looking? So I think it's going to be like a subtle background with him back there. I think it's going to be nice and subtle, sort of sparkle, but still sticking to the the parameters of this. Let me just put a few more down. Anyway, she has a tendency to hike or go for a walk when she's upset about something. So, but I also tell her to be careful doing that, because hiking by yourself, it's not always a great idea either. So, she was just letting me know where she is, or where she went, and I think she's done and heading home. Anyway, how is everyone else doing? Sorry, don't mean to be a bummer. So there are ABCs. I mean, I guess if I was going to do ABCs, I should have put ABC, but I mean, I still can. I mean, I have C. I have C right there, and I have B right there. So let me just put A on here. And then I can call it done. Yeah. I don't know. I think it looks like kind of cool. And then he's going to be right here. So you'll be able to see the letters in the background. And then I'm going to cut out one of these. I think I want to do this blue one because he's got some blue on him I want to capture. I just didn't want a big white. Most of my labels are white. Like, they might have a color around the edge. Well, if you've seen any of my videos, you know they do. But I didn't want to put white on here because I just think it was too, yeah, see, I'm just going to put a little something there. So there's a label. And then I'm just going to put ABC. And then I'll put the 34 on another one. I think I'm going to have to mix these. I should probably actually, sorry. I should put some glue on the back of these. These do not feel very sticky. They're older. So September, everybody. Anybody have any cool weather yet? We are super hot here in California still. But the area I live in, we are just now heading into what we call summer weather. Because most of our summer, the mornings are cold and gloomy and foggy because I live on the coast. And so This is thin paper though, so I'm going to, I really loved using these, being able to use some of these happy scraps. Sorry, I have glue on my hand. I'm trying to scoot this guy over a little bit. Oh boy, I've got to re-glue that, sorry. Sorry, I don't know why it's sliding. Maybe because of the letters. But I wanted to get the C on there better. I felt like I couldn't see. I'm going to take a little bit of, I've been using walnut stain on this one because I wanted the darker colors to stand out a little. I am doing better now, somewhat. I still have these coughing fits at night. I have to still take cough suppressant just because it gets cooler here. So, yeah. Yeah. So I didn't know what to do on this one, and so I don't know. It's coming out okay. I don't mind it too bad. I like the how the happy scraps are doing on here. Sorry, I was just wondering if I should do foam on him. Make him stand off a little bit from it. Grab my foam stickers. So yeah, owls and happy scrap carryover. Sorry. I'm sure lots of other people will come up with much more interesting ABC. I try not to, I mean, I watched Shanuki's this morning and I loved what she did, but I never like doing exactly what I see someone else doing. But I haven't been over to the Facebook book or group to really check in to see what everyone else has done. I try to do that after I've done mine. Because not that I worry that someone's going to accuse me of lifting their inspiration, but it just means I like to try and figure it out for myself first. Sorry, I was trying to, I thought I went too low on that. I like to try and see what I can creatively come up with before looking at other people's makes. So I don't know if everyone else is like that, but if I think if I watched what everybody did, I'd hate a lot of, I'd be a little bit of FOMO because sometimes other people have, I get that already sometimes. I watch someone make something and I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish I had those. I wish I had that book, or I wish I had that collage paper, or I wish, you know. Obviously, each person's stash is different, so it's pretty hard to copy someone's art exactly, unless they're using, you know, stuff you can buy, I guess. Plus, I just tried to push myself creatively. Let me actually put that up there so you can see. Like, I didn't know what to do, so I was like, well, I'll just put the alphabet behind and we'll see how that, and actually it hasn't, thankfully with the paper I chose, sorry, that's just the back of my card. Initially, I was going to use this paper that's on the back, but I didn't like the owl with it. But also, I was going to use a different owl. So I put this paper on originally, and I was going to use this owl. And then I looked at him, and I said, is that a hawk? But no, he's an owl. Or at least he came off a vintage page of owls. But then I remembered that I had these owls, and I think he's a little more... I don't want to use the word stunning, but he just looks a little more, there's a little more to him. Let me just get my, I didn't even see, 35, okay, great. You know, that moment when you didn't check and actually see if there was still a 3 and a 5 left on the page of stickers. But yeah, is everybody's kids back to school? You may know my child is an adult, so I don't have that. I don't have to concern myself with that anymore. But I remember, well, here in our area, they start early. I think they went back to school the second week of August. There he is. Get these out of the way. Save that for another time. I don't know if he needs white splatters. I haven't just... I'd rather put gold on him. Maybe I should put some gold. Ugh, sorry. Like I said, these stickers are so old. I'm hoping this is not... If there was a weird noise or something just went weird in my video, that's because my daughter just tried to call me and I used my phone to film. I'll call her back in just a few minutes. I'm almost done here. All right. Actually, I don't think I'm going to put anything in the background because maybe I should put another few letters there. I don't know. I think he looks pretty good. I like the use of the happy scraps for my numbers, and I like the little gold in the background. Yeah, so there we go. Card 35. All right. And he matches. So just to go over, I brought over, the thing this week was ABCs, so there's a bunch of letters behind him in gold. My carryover this week was an owl and the happy scraps. And then I used my label stamps. You know, I have a cheap pair of label stamps, and that's what I use to do my label, even though normally I do not do that. Normally I use actual labels because I have a whole drawer of them. But I wanted to use the happy scraps, so there we go. All right. I hope everybody has a really wonderful day. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you all in a few days. Thanks. Bye.